Hello and welcome to Up to Speed, our way of getting information on new announcements to you as quickly as possible on this channel. And it seems Canon weren't satisfied with giving us a whole new still system of products last week with the EOS R launch. Their video department has obviously been busy as well, because today we have the launch of a new flagship fixed lens camera for them, the XF705. So this is a fixed lens camcorder that is clearly designed for broadcast work. It has a 1-inch 4K CMOS sensor with their dual pixel AF technology built in. This is all powered by some pretty beefy processors inside, which mean the camera is capable of some pretty interesting things. We have a full broadcast quality 4K codec with 10-bit 422 at UHD at up to 60 frames a second. But interestingly, Canon have decided to use HEVC or H.265 compression. Now this makes it the first camera designed for broadcast to use this compression method, which is a huge step for the industry. H.265 is the future for compression, there's no two ways about it. It's far more efficient than H.264, and it means that this 10-bit 4K codec on the XF705 comes in at a data rate of 160 megabits a second, which is really lightweight and manageable. I think this is a great step forward for a broadcast camera. After all, the goal in this area of the industry is always to make content that's as high quality as possible, as quickly as possible. So a lightweight, high quality codec like this is just ideal. Combine this with the larger 1-inch sensor and Canon's dual pixel autofocus, and you should get great image quality with a slightly shallower depth of field than normal with these cameras and easy to manage focusing, which is recorded into easy to manage small files. And all of this onto SD cards because that file size is so small. We get 2 SD card slots for relay or dual simultaneous recording. It's fully capable of HDR work with C-Log 3, HLG and PQ recording internally. Plus, you can record HDR and SDR simultaneously, with one at a higher or lower exposure than the other, to get the best results possible in both modes. I'll definitely be looking at that in more detail when I get my hands on a camera after IBC, because that is a really nice idea and looks very interesting. The lens is a 15 times optical L series lens, which is a 25.5 to 382.5 equivalent. This is a bit wider than we've seen on some competing cameras, which I'm really pleased to see. And it also has 5-axis optical image stabilization inside and a 9-blade iris. There's 3 steps of ND, a quarter, a 16th and a 64th. Canon have also given us IP streaming in camera to either H.265 or H.264. And you can embed HDR data as well for HDR streaming. Plus there's some slow motion. There's 4K 60p of course for half speed 4K if you're using 25p or 30p to deliver. But there's also 1080p at 120 frames a second, which will be very useful. I'm not sure yet though whether that crops in at all. Interestingly, there's no 2 versions like we're used to with Canon's camcorder lineup. Normally, we get a 300 and a 305, for example, one with SDI and one without. Here, there's just one model, the XF705, which has a 12G SDI port. I like this is nice. It clears up any confusion customers may have, and it just gives us one simple model to work with. After all, at this level of camera, who doesn't want an SDI port on their camera? So, this is Canon's new flagship broadcast camcorder, and I think it will be a fantastic fit for documentary and broadcast work. It has lots of smart features that will really make your life easier as a shooter and brings H.265 into the professional camera world. But what do you think? Does this have everything that you need from a camera like this? Let us know in the comment section, and if you want to pre-order one, the links are in the description below. I'll be getting some time with the unit in a few weeks after IBC, so I'll be looking at it in much more detail then, but for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.